He's doing it again, Dan.
Who is?
Jeremy. He's doing it again.
He won't stop.
Oh, my God. You're talking about how he won't shut up about how the Giannis stuff is all bigger than the Super Bowl?
Yes. This is like 3 days in a row now, and I get it. Like the Super Bowl, okay, it's over a week away. I understand. And for that matter, the NBA trade deadline's, a little less than a week away. But, like, he's doing it again. He's trying to convince everybody that he literally just said, talking about Giannis, this is the biggest story in sports. And then he adds the caveat there, it was Super Bowl too, but he's doing it again.
In his defense, though, obviously the Super Bowl is still a week away. We've got next week to really gear up and get ready and get real excited about the Super Bowl. But right now, stands to reason, Giannis is the biggest story in sports on today's Friday day.
Very obviously the biggest story in sports today. Today.
I'm just happy everybody showed up for work.
I was going to be here no matter what.
The trade deadline, though, is, as Zaz just mentioned, it's also a week away.
6 days away.
And, there are a number of big stories in sports. We're not covering Denny Hamlin correctly. And also Djokovic right now is brawling with Sinner. Like this, if you like tennis right now, it's rare for sporting events to be happening while we're on the show. But Djokovic, as an athlete, has more titles, more majors than anybody. And when I say that, that's a staggering thing to say, given that he played against two other Djokovic's during his time. Like Serena doesn't have as many majors as Djokovic, and Serena was not playing against two other Serenas at the same time. What Djokovic is doing right now, do you think, Mike, as we watch this, the fifth set of Djokovic and Sinner, do you think that Djokovic knows, like we know right now, that Sinner's better than him?
Good job on the name. Almost stumbled, but you got through.
I don't think that's good for my inner monologue. You got to understand the voice. You got to understand it. I didn't understand what you were saying.
Okay. We'll work on it. Workshopping sounds.
So just so I can get this right, we're deciding yesterday that 20 minutes of high Lucas talk is more interesting than Giannis, and that today, old Novak Djokovic and, quote, we're not covering Denny Hamlin correctly is more interesting than the Giannis stuff. That's our barometer here?
Djokovic has done a lot more winning than Giannis. But fair enough. Fair point by you. Look at Djokovic right there. Look at that shot. Do you think that Djokovic knows Sinner is better than him?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
So then why wouldn't he think he's going to lose here?
How's this one?
I didn't hear what
it's
you
gotta
said.
be different, man.
That's more menacing.
Okay,
what do you want from me?
But I did not understand my inner monologue.
Everyone else did. It's gotta sound different. It's confusing if it's my normal voice.
Right, but I still don't know what you said as my inner monologue, and it's going to be hard to do the show if I don't understand my own inner monologue.
How's this one?
I understand that you want to make it weak. But you made it sound
I
like
think weak is the way to go.
I understood.
All right, so I don't whisper. You guys, I got enough voices in my head. This one's tough.
Changing on the fly. Hit checks, hat are gonna make them cheer. But the bombs turn to German riding eye. Now it's time for action. Tonight's gonna burn this barn right up. Slap shot will light the lamp so light. Let's go for a breakaway on the chase to raise the cup. We'll be standing on our heads till we meet them at center ice. Hockey is back, Jack. Hockey is back, Jack. Hockey is back, Jack, baby, and we'll meet you at center ice.
By the way, I'm not a big hockey guy, obviously. I just found out that the Mammoths were a team.
Just Mammoth.
Okay, so the Mammoth are a team. Hockey is Back Jack is a banger. That one's better than all the other Back Jack songs we have, and it's great.
I agree.
Is hockey back, Jack, or is the season over, Stover? Like, is it back?
I was
It's
really
over. We move on.
I was really upset last night, Dan. For the first time this season, I'm Mike. You could say what I put in the hockey chat last night. Like I think I wrote, Panthers are effing terrible, and I don't ever speak like that. I was
Thank
really
you for allowing us to share that.
I was really Well,
This one kind of feels like it's being undone.
It feels like we're getting close to the point where it's just too much to overcome, and it's going to be
The
a
teams
lost
ahead
season.
of them are not losing. Like
It's
That's
really
an
hard to
important factor.
it's really hard to make the playoffs in that sport. Again, this sport could totally do with more teams because everyone's
it's weird,
good.
right? Like half the league makes the playoffs, so it's like, oh, it's very easy. No, it's really hard to make the playoffs in that league. Dan, the Panthers are 8 points back of a playoff spot.
So when you say really hard, this brings me to another subject, and I'll tie Giannis in, even though I'm watching Djokovic and Sinner right now, and we rarely have this kind of sporting event going on during the show. So please keep me updated on this, because I'm actually interested. Fading champions, dying champions, watching them fight desperately is always interesting to me. And I was just asking during the Shadow Show, do you think that Djokovic knows that Sinner is better than him? And I don't think that's a concession that Djokovic would make while still playing tennis. I don't think that you can win if you lack confidence that way. You almost always have to think you're able to win. But when it comes to the playoffs, making the playoffs being hard, I loved part of the conversation that we were having yesterday, and I don't remember even the specifics of what it's about, but the idea of when critiquing sports or franchises or anything, the acknowledgement somewhere in there that a certain thing is really hard to do offers some nuance that might balance perspective on things. And I bring it up as it relates to the Heat. Mike Ryan has checked out on the Miami Heat largely over the last few years of frustration because his standard is what the Miami Hurricanes did this year, what the Panthers have done the last couple of years, the things that are incredibly hard to do. And so, not unlike you saying the Panthers bleeping are terrible, Mike Ryan has been wandering around for several years now saying the Heat stink. But they don't actually stink. They won against Chicago yesterday. They've got 3 straight games against Chicago. But the perspective I wanted to add to this.
Get excited for that.
Well, here's the thing, right? Where they've set the standard is interesting on where things are hard, Zaslow, because no one here is going to get excited about that because of where they've set the standard. But when we talk about things being hard, the model franchise in this market, even with 2-time champion Panthers now no longer possibly being in the playoffs, for 30 years, 30, has been the Miami Heat. I understand why you're frustrated with that. You want to take a guess when I talk about hard, how things are hard. You want to take a guess how many franchises in the last 30 years in basketball have done more winning than the Miami Heat? The last 30 years straight. Go ahead and take a guess how many of them have done better than the Heat.
Spurs, Warriors, Lakers.
Spurs and Lakers are it, and it's Lakers barely. It ain't Michael Jordan's Bulls. It ain't the Warriors. Sure hell isn't the Knicks. It's not the Celtics. The Miami Heat, for 3 straight decades, 3 straight, they never do what Sacramento does for a season or Atlanta's done for all of those 30 seasons. Never. They're always in it, and now we're talking Giannis. These things are hard. It's really hard to win like that when everyone else is trying to prevent you from winning like that. Everyone else cares the same way you do about making sure you don't win like that. So the Knicks would kill to have Jimmy Butler against the Nuggets in the finals, but they don't get it for 30 years. And so the perspective on what's great never gets to be as great if second place is always a loser. And if third place on 30 years of winning in the league is the Miami Heat stink when they don't stink this year. They clearly don't stink.
No, they're ordinary, but I think that this is the longest run under Pat Riley that the Miami Heat haven't had a chance.
No.
No, I think they were bad the year that they got Beasley.
15 to 19, they were kind of a nothing.
15 to 19?
Yeah.
Morning getting sick affected a lot of different things.
Bosch getting sick, because I
And
remember
Bosch.
dancing with an inflatable horse celebrating Goran Dragic, and they were a game away from making it to the Eastern Conference Finals and matching up with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I think this is the most prolonged stretch on Pat Riley's watch that they've just been ordinary without a real shot at winning the title. And there have been some lean years. There have been number 2 overall pick years. There was that time where they were like the 5 seed in a bad East, and we were all wondering if we're wasting Dwayne Wade's prime, but you knew that you had that piece. Who's the guy that you build around right now? We've been talking ourselves into Bam. I think we've maxed out that ceiling. So I think the issue here is I understand that they're not a bad team, but in that sport, they're arguably the worst thing that you can be, mediocre for an extended period of time.
But you're saying mediocre for an extended period of time, and I would say that's been the Magic for 30 years, and they had Shaq.
Well, the Magic have a different standard. I'm telling you, this is the worst run of Pat Riley.
I understand that it's a different standard, but what I'm telling you about these things are hard, okay, is that everyone wants what the Heat have had for the last 30 years, which is you almost always matter. Like the Timberwolves matter now. They haven't mattered for 30 years, and they haven't played. You said they haven't played in the finals in a long time. They were there 3 years ago. The Timberwolves have never been there. Like they played. They had Kevin Garnett. They've never been there in third. Like these things are really hard.
I understand.
But I don't feel like we do understand when we talk about it, because you say, well, it's a different standard. Well, everyone's got the standard of they want to win the championship, and one franchise is clearly better than the Heat over the last 30 years. It's the Spurs, and no one else is clearly better.
Perhaps a little dab of a paper towel on the forehead.
See, I didn't understand what my inner monologue was there. I didn't
heard
understand. Yeah, but you're next to him and you hear the way he's saying it without the voice. Like, Chris, do you not understand that you're hearing the way that he's saying that?
I don't want to get bogged
you?
down. I have headphones on, but
I think part of the issue, or a major part of the issue over these last several years, the Heat fan sees all of these other teams that are out there making the moves. They're trying to take swings. And the Heat have never been committed to doing that these last years, because they're waiting and they're waiting and they're waiting for the right moment, the exact right moment to actually pounce. And that's why they've been a, above average team, barely above average team. But now, like this right here, the Heat, by my count, have only gone all in one time in the history of the franchise in a trade. That's when you push all the chips to the center of the table and you say, take whatever you want. And that was with Shaq, all right? It's the only time they've ever done that.
No, that's actually not true. They didn't add Wade in that. It
No,
wasn't.
yes, correct,
It was,
correct.
Well, but it was all the chips except for
we're keeping
Dwayne
this
Wade.
one, and here's everything else, but we're keeping this one piece. Tell us what you want. Yes, but that's going all in, all right? In this instance as well. They are going all in for Giannis. They're going to keep Bam right over here. Here's everything else. Tell us what you want. And, if this is what they've been selling us with their flexibility and their maneuverability for the last few years, this is it, man. Make it happen now.
To that point, I think Heat fans have been frustrated when big names have come in the market and everybody from, across the street has been like, no, hold, we're not doing it yet. We're not doing it yet. But then when the Heat fan sees the trade for Terry Rozier where a first-round pick gets over there and then he gets indicted for gambling and then all of a sudden that happens, you're like, wait a second. The one time we try and make a move, that something weird happens. Now we don't have the asset we need to maybe go make this massive asset happen, exchange.
Can I add that whichever way you want to look at it, that the Heat obviously should not have done the Terry Rozier trade.
They should have been told at least.
Or Adam Silver should do the right thing and require the Heat to get their 27 first-round pick back. If that trade either never happened or Adam Silver did the right thing, the Heat would be a lock to get Giannis.
All right,
they would be a lock.
Let's talk about this for a second because it's interesting. A lot of parts of this are interesting. The best options that Giannis would have and the Bucks would have, it would appear, are the Warriors and the Heat, and the Warriors is a better option. That's interesting for a number of reasons, including that the Warriors have so much flexibility as a well-run organization that has not won as much as the Heat the last 30 years. that they just traded for the Heat's best player and still have the assets available to have a better offer.
Well, if I can add, why do you say that about the Warriors? They've won 4 titles during that span.
Oh, but over the last 30 years, okay, fine. We can say that, but by winning percentage.
Oh,
over
just
the
like
last,
going back to 94, they were
over-
shitty for like 15 years.
over-
Okay,
yeah,
you're right.
Over
you're
the
right.
last 30 years,
Okay.
the better winning. Over the last 30 years, the Warriors are under 500.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Give him a hard look. Make sure he never corrects you on the air again.
The Warriors traded for the Miami Heat's best player and still have more flexibility and assets because their offer can be better. And I believe that the only way that Giannis ends up in Miami, given that the Warriors are playing for the win now of Steph's got to win right now, while the Heat are playing for Riley's got to win before it's all over. The best chance the Heat have is that Giannis doesn't want to do the Durant thing of I'm going to go be coattails, I'm going to go be the number 2, and I don't like what's going to happen to the Warriors after Steph retires where I'm going to end up being Milwaukee again. That's the best chance I think the Heat have, Giannis wanting to be here because it gets to be his.
Why does Milwaukee care about that?
Because Giannis is going to tell them where it is that he wants to go, and they may or may not want to please Giannis here as part of the transaction if they can get something close to what it is that the Warriors would be offering, which they can. They can get something close, but the Warriors' offer is better.
I think there's an issue, too, with a bit of subtraction by addition, right? Where you have Giannis, you get him there, but it took so much. It took such a heaven and earth move to get all of your roster gutted, to get all your picks out of the way, where now you're looking around at the locker room, and it's Steph, and it's Giannis, and it's like, maybe Draymond's there, maybe he's not. And then all of a sudden, in a year or two, Steph's 37, he's turning 38 in March. We got 2 years left of Steph, 3 years maybe. And at that point, Giannis is looking around being like, this is Milwaukee West. I'm back in hell, and there's nothing I can do about it because there's no picks, there's no assets whatsoever. Like, that to me seems like a very tough place to be when you can go somewhere in the East and make the NBA Finals every single season.
There's a combination of things here. I found it really interesting, both that aspect of it, because there's been no indication thus far that the Warriors are a preferred destination of Giannis. There's been reporting that the Heat are. There's been reporting that he has interest in playing with Anthony Edwards in Minnesota.
The Knicks.
We know about the Knicks. The
Sixers.
Warriors have been a piece of this without any guarantee that Giannis would extend. So their mammoth offer, which would include Podziemski and Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga and Jimmy Butler, and then 4 picks and 3 pick swaps, maybe that's not something that the Warriors are fully willing to put out there, even with that Steph window. Maybe they see a hybrid version where, hey, they come get Andrew Wiggins or Anthony Davis. But even beyond that, I don't know that that offer that the Warriors are putting out there for the Bucks is the best thing for the Bucks either, where you say, oh, but they can acquire 4 first-round picks and 3 swaps. Well, if all of a sudden it's Giannis and Steph, and they're going to be maybe the best team in the NBA competing for championships the next few years, that pick swap means nothing. 2 of those first-round picks are at the end of the first round. And you're looking at the Heat picks being in the future and delivering you a good young core right now. You get Ware and other supplementary pieces who are under 25 years old, probably an all-star level guard in Tyler Hero, who's only 25. You don't need...
He's talking too much.
You don't need to keep
Get
winning.
back to Denny Hamlin.
All right, Denny Hamlin talk. Let's go.
Was that Mike? Because that's what was going on in my head. Or was that Mike? Like that? Did that come out on air? I thought did you say that, or was that just?
Can Jeremy hear me?
Jeremy, will you cry if we don't get Giannis?
Only if Terry Rozier isn't allowed to be moved, and that's the thing.
I already put this out there
Prevents
for
it.
Can you
Adam
imagine,
Silver.
Zaz?
I already
Can you
did this.
imagine that?
I already
I'll
laid it
murder
down.
Pablo Torre.
I already laid down the gauntlet. Adam Silver, if the Heat make a trade for Giannis, if they, in theory, they have a trade and it involves Terry Rozier's contract, and then you come out and say that you're not allowed to trade Terry Rozier's contract, I already dared him.
You did. You double dog dared him at the end.
I double dare you, Adam Silver, to cancel a trade for Giannis that involves Terry Rozier. I double dare you.
Dan, that would be the most unprecedented thing ever, right, in sports, where
Him going against my double dare?
that and a gambling scandal where the team was not let under the They didn't know what was going on. Okay.
Spit it out, Tone.
Look how
They didn't even need me there.
look at him. He lost all confidence.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. It's okay, but
Don't write it
I
down,
think
though.
part of the Terry Rozier thing that we need to consider is
Minor penalty, 2 minutes for leaking confidence.
You know what? It's fair. I'll take that one.
it is.
I was looking at Zaz, and he was looking at me, and then I was looking at Dan, and then I heard the inner monologue, and I was like, oh, God.
The inner monologue's tricky. Okay, I understand. Look, it's a whole new world out there. It's a new toy.
I did a
get
little
it.
dance here.
I worry about the Terry Rozier thing because Adam Silver hasn't really given us much on the record about hypotheticals. So this thing's going to need to play out a little bit.
Yeah, why would the commissioner, make sure everybody's all on the same page?
Yeah, I understand the Heat perspective on this. As someone that thinks it's wholly unfair, I share your frustration. But Adam Silver's got a hedge against there are going to be more Terry Roziers. And what I do right now is going to serve as precedent. And it's a lot trickier than it appears just from the Heat perspective because you never know how this can be manipulated by other teams in the future.
Wouldn't the precedent be let's make sure teams that know they have a player being investigated by the FBI discloses that information? Wouldn't that be the precedent?
Zaslow, you're emotional about this, and I understand. Also, I need to tell everybody
calm
that
down.
the Zaslow double dare doesn't seem to mean anything. You double dared Berube the other day. Like this double dare, triple dare, it doesn't mean anything. You're talking tough, and it's just empty. But getting back to reading tea leaves and whatever it is that you love about the transaction, if the Heat are going to get back in this game. Why is Giannis's mom posting on social media photos of Giannis at the Miami Heat's arena? What is happening there on the tea leaf front? I understand the point that Tony was trying to make before he started leaking confidence. I don't know if you guys saw the Philadelphia game yesterday against Sacramento, but Embiid is going for 40 or Maxey is going for 37 or the reverse of that, and they're winning by 2 against Sacramento because Paul George is fumes of himself and Edgecombe isn't the same thing he was at the beginning of the season, and all of a sudden it takes what's left of Embiid and all of Maxey to beat the Kings by 2 because this shit's hard. Like, it's hard to beat all these teams and build a complete team. However, the Miami Heat have, in their history, I'm going to say that given the condition that Shaq was in with the Heat, even though they won a championship with him, have had only 2 players as good as Giannis ever. And whether he's hurt and whether you think he's old, that is a player that you have to get because the ones that you have are not good enough. And by your own standard, the highest of standards, Pat Riley, it's winning or misery. By your own standard, this team is playing for championships, and we know that this one's not good enough as is. They're going to play the Chicagos and the Atlantas and the Orlandos, and that's where they're going to be, and that isn't good enough. Giannis alters that. It's a player you have to have, even if you think he's injured, even if you think he's old. It's the kind of player you have to have because the Heat have only had 2 like that ever. And one of them is objecting on television, okay, to Rudy Gobert wandering around saying still again and again, if in 2013, if my team had gotten to the finals, we would have beaten the Miami Heat, and Dwayne Wade still not having it 12 years later.
So Rudy is one of my teammates now, and I could not come here and not bring him a gift.
Oh, what we got?
Make sure that I brought Rudy a gift at the same time. Since we talking about championships,
Bling, bling.
since we celebrate championships, Rudy was very famous to say that they could have beaten us in 2013 to win that championship. This is a championship ring from 2013. I just want Rudy to get a chance to touch it, hold it.
You know what?
Feel it, experience it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I
go and look
appreciate
at
that. Know
Yeah,
what?
Yeah.
Know why we didn't win? They ain't had that jacket in my size. So, I just leave it at that.
See,
You can't have everything.
See, this was 06, that was 13. We was doing this, you was still in diapers.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
Oh, was it?
In the NBA terms, you was still in diapers, homeboy, when we was
that
winning
makes sense.
championships.
Listen,
You know you're bothered when you're Rudy Gay and you just kind of go there like, no, I didn't. Like live TV's like, that's not true what you're saying.
Shit, I said Rudy Gobert. Hopefully no one noticed.
Was that Mike who did that, or was that my actual inner monologue? I'm getting confused by this character of Mike's inner monologue because I did. As soon as I saw Rudy Gay pop up, I was just asking myself, did I say Gobert? I think I said Gobert.
I know this is a whole new world, new bit. We're feeling it out. Stop reacting. Just let it sit. All right?
Well, is that my inner monologue, or is that now you? I'm confused.
All right. I can't get through to you if I'm existing in your head already, right? So hear me out. Just let the voice do its thing, all right? It's supposed to speak for you, and if you speak after it, it loses all its steam.
How does the voice feel about me continuing on about these packages because I've spoken to people around the Bucks?
Don't talk to the voice. The voice only exists for the listener. It speaks to their thoughts.
Okay,
if
now I
you
understand.
react to the voice, you let out all this steam.
Thank you, voice.
Jeremy, go outside to the whiteboard and do all of your Kevin Spacey and Seven writing in journals. No, I know you're not going to like
Would
the
love
Kevin
if you
Spacey.
didn't call me Kevin
Just get
Spacey.
out of here.
Can we get smaller writing though? It's too big.
In his defense, I could have pulled a different name.
Not if I'm talking about somebody writing.
Charlie Day would have worked.
Stop reacting to the voice.
Stop reacting!
You want to hear Tony messing up?
No, come on, let's make fun of Jeremy. And a gambling scandal where the team was not let under the they didn't know what was going on. Okay,
Spit it out, Tone.
You sound so stupid.
Oh, please. What I was trying to say was that they put the gambling scandal under the rug. I got stuck with under the rug there. That's where I got stuck. And then I was like, I can't put it under
Where
the
are we
rug.
sweeping this?
I can't put it under the rug. They gotta know. I don't know.
The Giannis thing is going to consume the next few days.
It's gonna be so annoying, right?
I don't think it's annoying because it represents hope. It represents the Miami Heat trying to place the standard where it's been. The Miami Heat will have the pieces needed to acquire Giannis after the season. It is not during the season. They will be able to put together a better offer than the Warriors when they have more picks after the season. It is being said that the Bucks want picks. They don't want the Heat's young players. The Heat have a cupboard of young players that are more desirable than the Warriors' cupboard of young players. But if you want picks, you want picks. And now it becomes a conversation about how interested are the Bucks in actually pleasing Giannis Antetokounmpo, because I do believe that this would be a better place for Giannis than Golden State if he's thinking about the next 5 or 6 years instead of the next 2. I also think we underestimate the ego of these people if you think it doesn't matter at all that Giannis doesn't want to be seen as going over. I think he's given voice to this. I think he was one of the guys complaining when Durant did this. No, man, I'm not doing it that way where I go and Steph Curry's team is I'm the number 2 and I don't get to be the reason we're winning. I'm just going to help Steph Curry cement his legacy, when I don't think that Giannis thinks that Steph Curry is appreciably better at basketball than he is. When I say, this might be blasphemy, what I'm about to say now, but I kind of limped up with respect and bias to saying that Giannis was the 3rd best player the Heat would ever have. And I walked past Shaq when I did it. But I'm not sure that Dwayne Wade is actually better than Giannis. Like, I'd have to go look at some of these numbers and see what it is that I'm looking at and do some analysis on it. But I'm not positive as I say it. I did it respectfully, but I'm not positive. Just put it on the poll. Who's a better player, Dwayne Wade or Giannis Antetokounmpo? Just put that by a better basketball player. Who is forever a better basketball player, Giannis or Dwayne Wade? Because it's close, correct?
Tough.
No,
That's tough, Dan.
I don't like that we're putting up that poll. We might not like the results. All right, we put it up though.
You don't like it. I'm telling you that I limped up to it, kind of scared, and wouldn't even put Giannis beyond him, even though I put him beyond Shaq.
The answer's Wade. The answer's Wade.
You clean that up. You're doing great.
Why? Well, hold on, Zaz. Why? Why is it Wade?
If we're in the 4th quarter of a huge game and the game's tied, I'm not even giving you how many minutes left. We're in the 4th quarter and the game is tied. You could either have Giannis on your team or Dwayne Wade. Who are you picking?
Oh,
picking Wade.
Of course.
It's Wade.
I don't know.
It's Wade.
I don't know. I think Giannis can. he can impact both sides of the floor.
Bam
in a way
shut
where-
Wade's only the best shot blocking guard in the history of the
Bam,
league.
That's fine. That's
Bam
one.
shut Giannis down.
Oh, come on. He was hurt the entire series.
That doesn't matter.
I just there's no way I take Giannis over Wade in a tie game in the fourth quarter. I trust the team that has Dwayne Wade in that spot.
Fair enough. Whatever it is, it's splitting hairs because this kind of player, never available. And at this age, never available. Like, this is still not old. You're going to get 5 years of Giannis. Let's go out to Jeremy. Words I never thought I'd say, but I'm still reeling from both the struggle to say words, the getting of the Rudy Gay, Rudy Gobert thing wrong, and
Yeah, when I heard the 2013 Grizzlies, I was like, wait a second, Rudy Gobert was on the Grizzlies?
my inability also to have chemistry with my inner monologue is also frustrating me. So let's go out to Jeremy for a life raft.
So there are several different teams that can get in on this, Dan, and several different teams that might want to. I'll go through those before we get to the comparison of that Warriors package and the Heat. So the Knicks are a team that reportedly Giannis may be interested in going to. Shams and Sam Amick of The Athletic reported that the Heat, the Knicks, the Warriors, and the Wolves are the main suitors. So let's look at the Knicks. Chris Haynes says they don't have enough because what are they going to exchange in this package? They have Karl Anthony Towns. Would the Bucks be interested in Towns? Probably not. They don't have any picks they can make. So let's eliminate the Knicks from this conversation unless they can maneuver to get several future picks by completely blowing up their roster.
I think that's an important point, right? Like, I think James Dolan, I think the entire front office is already kind of doing the math of, all right, if we can get rid of an auxiliary piece here and try and get more picks, maybe there's something to be done.
Isn't it amazing, by the way, if I could also add the reason that the Knicks don't have any first-round picks right now to trade for Giannis is because of Mikal Bridges.
Five of them.
That's a tough pill to
Five
swallow. If you're a Knicks
first-round
fan,
picks.
tough pill to swallow.
And it would require, more likely than not, moving Bridges to potentially Portland, involving them as a third team because they have those future picks of the Milwaukee Bucks that were part of that Damian Lillard trade. But moving on from the Knicks, because it would require a ton of maneuvering. If you look at the Hawks, they actually have a very good package if they're interested and think they can extend Giannis and want to change their window. Because what they could offer is Jalen Johnson, who's a really, really good young player that they're presently building around, and the New Orleans Pelicans first-round pick, so that the Bucks would be in a position where they have essentially 2 top 5 to top 10 picks this year with their own and New Orleans, plus Jalen Johnson. You immediately accelerate the rebuild. That said, there's been no expression that the Hawks would be interested, so we eliminate them from the board. The Nets are reportedly a team that Chris Haynes said could take a big swing, but they don't have much to offer. They have Michael Porter Jr., who maybe they can move for different salary to get other places. They have a ton of picks, but would Giannis be interested in playing there? They don't have enough to surround him. We eliminate the Nets. The Raptors. Now, originally, the Dallas Hoops Journal reported that the Raptors were a team that might be interested. We know that they're a team that has taken big swings on guys that weren't going to extend before. We saw it with the Kawhi. They won a championship. But the reports have also been they won't move Brandon Ingram or Scotty Barnes in any trade moving forward because they've been playing really good basketball. They think they have an opportunity to compete. This is similar to the Detroit Pistons, who have the ability to make this move, but have really good young players that are playing well, and they're at the top of the conference, think they can win now. So we eliminate the Raptors because they only have Emmanuel Quickley, maybe R.J. Barrett, a couple of picks, but not really as much. The Timberwolves are similar to the Knicks. They don't have any tradable firsts. They would need to reroute Julius Randle or Naz Reid, maybe Jaden McDaniels to Portland if they're interested in that. But it's going to take a similar amount of maneuvering. The difference being Giannis does seem interested in playing with Anthony Edwards in particular. And so the Timberwolves could be more willing to make things move forward. We can get to the Warriors and the Heat in just a moment.
I didn't hear anything he said. Djokovic is about to win this.
Serving for the match.
This is crazy.
Improbable, yeah.
Sinner looked. I don't know body language. I'm generally not body language guy, but Sinner looked like he knows what's across from him, and I'm not used to seeing that at all. Like he knows it's Djokovic maximum focus, knowing that he just needs to get a couple of serves in order to win this match. This is crazy. He's been hurt all match. He's been grabbing at his chest all match. Is he gonna knock this dude out?
I won't believe it till I see it. But that's a That's an incredible chapter in Djokovic's story.
I just registered fear on Sinner's face, and I don't think I'm making that up because he knows what's across the net from him. Like, he knows who that is and what it means that he's got a serving advantage at this point in the match. And Djokovic has slowed everything down. Like, he's slowing it down, slowed his breathing down. He's been hurt all match. He's been grabbing at his chest all match.
It's kind of crazy, the story arc of Djokovic. He had to like chip away at Nadal and Federer, and then he became top dog, very clearly the best. And then the emergence of Alcaraz and Sinner.
Wow. One more.
He is now at match point.
Double match point.
Wow.
Oh, and he's going to the crowd.
It's like a babyface turn too, because everybody wants to see this happen. It's weird that the greatest of all time finds himself in this position. It's kind of like Tiger winning that Masters a little bit. Only Tiger was always super popular, and out of those three titans of the sport,
That shit was awesome when that happened.
Djokovic was always considered the heel of the group, but this is one of the rare occasions that Djokovic is going up against a guy that probably might have more heel juice than he does.
I never do the body language stuff, but Sinner looked like he realized the size of his predicament on his face because you got double match point here, and Djokovic has won more majors than anyone in the history of the sport.
Just a couple of guys slack-jawed watching tennis right now.
That's right.
An incredible rally.
Great audio, us watching
the theater, though.
Alcaraz. No.
Oh.
All right, got a chance.
Terrible play-by-play by me.
All right.
It's like Sinner, Alcaraz.
That rally was
That's not him.
18 shots.
You're like Boban. He dribbles the ball. He dribbles the ball. He dribbles the ball. He dribbles the ball.
Your inner monologue sounded a lot like just you sound there. Terrible play-by-play by me. Okay, let's do something.
Tennis is tough.
Let's do something here that is very rare in an audio medium. Let's watch tennis silently together.
We're in an impromptu watch-along here as match point number 2 is underway.
Gonna take another crack at this.
Djokovic trying to complete an incredible story.
Joker serves.
And match up against Alcaraz.
Sinner.
There it goes.
Returns.
It's over.
No, it's not. Oh, incredible rally.
Sinner.
Oh, is in?
We're at deuce.
Joker blew it.
We're at deuce.
He had his chance. He could have ended it. He had it.
Deuce.
Oh, my God.
Deuce.
At tennis matches, do they all yell deuce?
Please.
Remember how sports fans love the ooh sound? Any ooh sound, they love to cheer it. Boo.
I can't believe Sinner won that point after that serve.
I can't.
Caught him flat-footed, Dano.
Yes, Sinner's
Why did he hit it to that side?
demigod.
Because he wasn't there.
Great analysis, actually. Hit it
Caught
where
him
they
flat-footed.
ain't.
Hit it where they ain't.
Tennis guy. You got to be better than that Joker.
He should have hit it differently.
All right, let's go out to Jeremy for more Giannis Antetokounmpo talk.
We're talking Yannick Sinner or Giannis Antetokounmpo. So the Warriors, okay, the position that they're in. Do they want to trade for Andrew Wiggins? That was a big conversation that was happening before. A Kuminga and a pick for Andrew Wiggins. But Anthony Slater of The Athletic, I believe, he covers the Warriors. He says they're not interested in Wiggins right now. Now, Brett Siegel says they might be interested in Anthony Davis, which is an interesting conversation here simply from that Jimmy Butler salary swap perspective. You get a year off of that. But the question that we have here is which package is better between the Warriors and the Heat? So, yes, while the Warriors can offer 4 picks at the moment and 3 pick swaps, along with that Butler salary, Kuminga, and if the Bucks are interested in Brandon Podziemski. What the reports were from Shams from the very beginning is that the Bucks want blue chip talent and they want a surplus of draft picks. What the Warriors offer...
Yeah!
It's over!
The
Joker!
old guy still got it.
Yeah! Let's go! The Joker!
Joker.
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 He was right in 2020.
Joker.
Zaslow, you and I noticed at the same time that they were about 7 seconds
I didn't
ahead
like
of us
that.
on the televisions in there, and I felt
We got
so
the live feed over here,
I know,
Dano.
I felt so
Straight
left
from the
out.
Aussies.
I felt so alone.
That's how people feel watching live streams.
I'm so lonely. That crazy. That's totally crazy. Djokovic was hurt all match and rallies. And the point I was making earlier, Zaslow, of
Good stuff.
greatest champions ever, to have more majors than anyone when you played in Federer's age, when you played against two guys in Federer and Nadal on clay who are basically just as good as you. That's not something Serena Williams had to do. That's not something that Steffi Graf had to do. That's not something that Federer had to do until the end. He was winning his titles early.
Look at the emotion, man. This is what it's all about.
It's just, well, so here's the thing, Zaslow. When we were talking earlier, do you think that Djokovic knows that Sinner is better than he is?
I think he does.
The mentality. Well, but you think he does?
Yeah.
Because why would Djokovic?
Look at the emotion. Does the emotion he's showing right now tell you that?
I mean, he's got to be excited that he's
Almost
hurt
looks like relief.
and he's able to overcome that. It's a good question. I don't know. When I've told you before that the Van Gundys always say that the hardest thing to coach in sports is the aging superstar because they tend to lack self-awareness. They always think they're going to overcome everything because they always have overcome everything.
What an incredible storyline for the final as well, as Alcaraz is trying to complete the career Grand Slam and Djokovic is trying to win a 25th Grand Slam title. Insane.
I got to think he's going to peter out. It'll be like the 49ers, right? This takes so much out of you to get to that, and now you're playing another guy who's better than this.
That's what I've been thinking now. I know it happened in the wee hours, but Alcaraz and Zverev had an incredible all-time match, too, in which Alcaraz kept getting cramps and Zverev kept taking exception to all the injury timeouts that he had. In hardcore tennis, you make it to the final, your body's pretty beat up anyways.
What's the history between Sinner and Djokovic, like as far as playing before? Like, does the Sinner have a bunch of wins against him?
What's happened here is that Djokovic is obviously aged in a way that's not up for
Give him
dispute.
daggers for putting you on the spot like that. That was not fair. I'm not a tennis guy.
Against the clock.
New Year, same Miami. We say goodbye to 2025 and the First Amendment with accused serial sex pest and Miami Beach Mayor Stephen Miner sending cops to a woman's door for writing a mean Facebook comment. And Mayor Francis Suarez might be gone, but his scandals go on and on. This time, he's handing out Rolex watches to cops like Ecstasy at Ultra. We're rolling on an all-new Because Miami.
Coming up today on the Alley Oop, we discuss the wonderful, the fantastic, the goofy Jalen Tyson. We also discuss Steph Curry with the Timberlands on. Unfortunately, they're the wheat thins. What else we got, Trista?
Also, me and Juju finally disagree for the first time 1,000,000%. And guess what? After his rationale, I think I changed my mind. Lock in with us on YouTube. Lock in.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Dave Damashek is going to join us here. Football America is a really good show. He does it with the Fuentes brothers. It comes out on Monday and Fridays, and he has a lot of fun and weird and football history as well. So there's a wide net that he's casting twice a week on Football America. We will get to him in a second. But Jeremy, I want to go back to something here with Giannis. Jake Fisher has tweeted about the Bucks and their ask for Giannis. Quote, they're asking for the moon, one general manager told him Thursday morning, all of your young players and all of your draft picks. Now, Jeremy keeps saying to anyone who will listen that he is talking to Milwaukee reporters and they like the Heat deal better than the Warriors deal. But Milwaukee reporters are not the ones making this trade, and I don't think Milwaukee reporters get to be sources. Where is it and how is it that you arrive at the Heat's offer being better than the Warriors' offer, other than those Bucks reporters having opinions because they watch basketball?
Because of what the Heat can offer and what the Bucks reportedly want, Dan. So they want blue chip prospects and they want future picks. The Heat can actually offer you both as it presently stands. There are two parts of this. The Heat can make maneuvers, sort of the move before the move, that can add more picks, and I'll get to that in just a second. But what the Heat offer right now, if it's every young player, it's Kel'el Ware, it's Jaime Jaquez Jr., who's a Sixth Man of the Year candidate right now at just 24 years old. It's Tyler Hero, an all-star guard turning 26, and as much as we all around Heat fandom are constantly downplaying Hero because he has been a piece that many people have looked at as the thing that hasn't gotten them over the top, he's a 26-year-old all-star guard.
He can't stay healthy.
And the Bucks, what you have to remember in all of this, they don't have their future picks beyond this year. So while they want to tank the rest of this season, in order to build a core around the top-level pick that they're about to get this year, they need to assemble a deeper young core moving forward. And do you want to do that with Jonathan Kuminga and Brandon Podziemski? Or do you want to do that with Kel'el Ware, Kasper Siakachonis, who was just a first-round pick, who's a 19-year-old point guard, Jaime Jaquez Jr., potentially Niko Jovic? That's something that can work for them. And the picks that they're going to get from the Warriors, if the Warriors are really good, over the next 2-3 years are all going to be at the end of the first round. So to me, when you look at that, and you talk about potentially moving Hero and Wiggins as the salary instead of Jimmy Butler, what you're dealing with is two guys who will be on expiring deals next season who are future movable players for even more first-round picks if you want them. Or Tyler Hero, you can give an extension, and he can be one of the pieces during this stretch.
Do me a favor here. Howard Beck is saying the Lakers are involved. The writing is very small on your board, so I can't see whether you have the Lakers
7 font, I think.
up there. But do me the favor real quick. With your back to us, just stand in front of the center of the board real quick. I just want you to stand in front of the center of the board. There's a reason I'm doing this. Just cover up the name of Giannis Antetokounmpo to the degree you can. And I want to ask everyone here in the room to try and spell the last name Antetokounmpo. Anybody? I want Damashek to give it a try as well. You're raising your hands, Zaslow. Are you confident about your ability to spell the name Antetokounmpo?
Yep.
You're confident. Damashek, do you want to give this a shot? Go ahead. Jeremy, you just make a buzzer sound as soon as Damashek gets something wrong. Go ahead, Damashek. Go ahead and try and spell Antetokounmpo.
All right. A-N-T-E. I'm writing this as I say it. That's why I'm looking down. A-N-T-E-K.
Nope.
And
okay.
Ah, wait, I was going to slip.
No.
Ah, I know.
Nope, you're out. Tony, go ahead and try and spell Antetokounmpo.
A-N-T-E-U-K.
Nope.
T, not K.
Okay, Mike, you want to take a shot at Antetokounmpo?
I'm not here to be deposed.
Chris, you want to take a shot?
Yeah, I want to take a quiz.
Okay, Zaslow wants to take a shot here. Let's go back to
Not going to take a shot. I'm just going to do it right.
Let's go
See
back.
if Jeremy can do
No,
it.
let's go back to Damashek here. Let's go back again to Damashek. Damashek, go ahead and try again.
A-N-T-E-T, a 10 T. I mean E. No. E.
Wrong a lot.
G-R-E-E-K
All right, I'm out.
space F-R-E-A-K.
Go ahead, Zaz. You go ahead and take a shot at it.
Antetokounmpo.
Ding, ding, ding. Dave's,
That was
Color me impressed.
That was impressed. Look at him. Look at the swagger in Zaslow over here after getting all his words wrong for the last.
I'm an excellent speller. Excellent
You
speller.
can't speak, but you can spell.
Excellent speller.
Zaz, in fifth grade, we had a spelling quiz every Friday, and me and Kristen Larson had not missed a word about 2/3 of the way through the school year. 0. And there was a perfect star for every time you got a perfect score on the spelling quiz. And then one spring day, Kristen Larson missed a word, and Damashek continued his streak all the way through the 5th grade. Never missed a single word in the spelling quiz. How about that? Claim to fame.
It is amazing how much more interesting you found that than the rest of us.
Also, despite a lack of raw foot speed, in Little League in 3 seasons, 34 for 34 in stolen bases. How about that?
So you were a smart.
Color me impressed.
All right, put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. As a base stealer, was Damashek a good speller? At Le Batard Show.
Cunning of a mongoose. Let me tell you this very quickly, because I know you like to interrupt, and I my time is short here, and so I'm going to get it all out as quickly as I can. First of all, best football movie ever. All the right moves. Shout out to Lethal Weapon, a fun little football scene.
Spit it out, man! Spit
it out! Zaslow and I talked about. I was right about QB wins. Take that, Mina Kimes. Try to grapple with the fact that your hero, Sam Darnold, now is burnished his legacy for all of time by winning that game. Make sense of that one. Best TV show to rewatch is The Simpsons. Curb Your Enthusiasm is better than Seinfeld. How about them Penguins? And I need to confess, I did not vote for Bill Belichick for the Hall of Fame, mostly because I don't have a vote.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show, mostly, huh? Is Curb Your Enthusiasm better than Seinfeld? I don't know what the mathematical odds would have to be against the idea that you'd have 2 running series so popular that Curb Your Enthusiasm could end with fixing the Seinfeld ending, because you have 2 series involving 2 characters that can rewrite a joke that is 12 years old. Like, the odds against that are crazy. Let's talk about something else that the odds are crazy against. Your interest in this Super Bowl. Ostensibly, if I were to not give you these teams and just simply say, we have in front of us the most unlikely Super Bowl of all time. There's never been a 60-1 and an 80-1 odds teams facing each other. Everybody would be excited about that in the abstract. Why are they less excited about that in the actual?
Well, because you were getting at it about 10, 20 minutes ago, Dan. It's about who the champion has to go through to become the champion. It's the competition around you. It's Ali being in the same era with Frazier and with Foreman and Norton and all the rest of them. The reason I hold up the Pittsburgh Steelers as the greatest dynasty of the Super Bowl era is because of the competition around them in that era. The 70s included the mighty Miami Dolphins, the Dallas Cowboys, the Oakland Raiders, the Minnesota Vikings, the Rams were real good, and so on. If I told you or asked you to make a list of the 10 or 12 greatest teams of the Super Bowl era, I just named roughly a third or half of the teams that would make that list. And who stood head and shoulders above them all? The Pittsburgh Steelers, 4 times out of a half dozen years. That's what makes them great, is the competition. And there is a sense of, like we've talked about, parity is a negative. It is mediocrity. It's just a synonym for mediocrity, is parity. And only, thank goodness for Woody Johnson and for Jimmy Haslam and their ineptitude, or otherwise it would just lay bare the fact that this is just basically a communist operation where every team's number eventually comes up.
This is the best argument I can make on behalf of the Patriots winning this game. Tell me if you have a better one. The best argument I can make is you weren't watching football all season if you think Darnold has been the last 2 games what he was over a 10-game stretch toward the end of the season. The San Francisco 49ers were broken, and the Rams' defense is bad. So there is the possibility that the Patriots' defense can actually make Sam Darnold look like Sam Darnold again. That's my best argument. Do you have a better one?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it has more to do with, as much as I perpetuate the narrative of big spot for Sam Darnold and can he, QB wins in the postseason and all of that, the reality of who he is that he has games where he throws multiple picks, and that would be the Patriots' big shot in this one to be able to do that. The other side of it is, though, the weird conversation that's emerged around Drake May and that he's been bad against better competition, which, I mean, in terms of passing numbers and the weather probably impacted him a bit in Denver too, but it still counts if you're a quarterback and you make plays with your legs. I know we celebrate Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen when they do that. Somehow Drake May is diminished for that. Well, he threw 50% completion rate. Yeah, he also made decisive plays that won them the game ultimately in the AFC title game, and that still counts even if he does it against the Seahawks.
Couldn't I make the argument, I don't know if I can make it because I haven't looked at it statistically, that Drake May was the best runner at the position this year, given that Lamar Jackson wasn't running very much this year?
I mean, off the top of my head, obviously, I don't know. But yeah, I think there, it was a consistent factor for the Patriots all season long. Yeah.
Because Justin Herbert was great at a necessity running for his life the last 5 games or so, but Drake May did do that all season. So if
certainly on design runs, I think Herbert had so many scramble yards.
Drake May has a ton of scramble yards too, though. But if I give you a quarterback in one game, answer me this question, okay? Do you want Sam Darnold, or do you want the quarterback who's the best deep ball passer in the league and runs better than anyone else in the league?
Ooh, that is a great question that I haven't considered. So basically, the question is all things being equal, right? We're not trying to assess Drake May with the Patriots.
No, I'm doing is the Darnold reputation and all the things that Darnold is against all the things May is going to be, because he's already the best deep ball thrower in the league, and we just said he's the best runner at the position in the league, too. So you're headed into the biggest game of your life. What's the skill set that you want?
The skill set you want, because the baggage of Sam Darnold, the stink is off now. That's the magic. That's the voodoo of winning in big spots, is that it imbues you with a different level of confidence. Whereas I do suspect Drake May probably has some doubt. Man, I have not played well these last few weeks against high-end competition, and now I have to play probably the best defense in the league. Just like in a vacuum, I guess I like, at this point, Drake May's skill set better, as you say. You just identified the two greatest qualities he has, which are the deep shots and the ability to functionally scramble and run design plays.
No, and he's also great against the blitz, 17 touchdowns, no interceptions. But this is where I would quibble with you, though. I know everyone says the Seahawks are the best defense in the league, but what they're best at is stopping the run. They don't allow 100-yard rushers. The last 2 defenses he's played, I think, are harder for a quarterback to pass against than the one he's about to play.
Yeah, I guess so. We're splitting hairs if we're debating Seahawks or Texans. I think the Broncos are probably just a tick below those other two.
Not pass rush, they're not. Not pass rush, they're not.
Right, but that's secondary, and specifically those big corners can really beat up. I mean, Stephon Diggs and otherwise. I mean, I don't like. I mean, that's the case, by the way, for Drake May over Matthew Stafford is the MVP is the weapons that they respectively had. One guy was throwing it to Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, and the other one's throwing it to old Stephon Diggs and Hunter Henry. I mean, that's the case in my. By the way, one won his division, the other one finished third. But yeah, I think that obviously the inability to run the ball. Well, let's assume that the Seahawks are going to be able to take that away. Now the game's all on Drake May's shoulders with Stephon Diggs against those big corners. I don't love that matchup for him.
Dave, impromptu drip drill here. The Super Bowl uniform matchup. I was worried about this one because Navy is prominent in both these uniforms. Now the AFC is the home team. And rather than go with the home uniforms, I think this was a good development. The Patriots have opted for their all-white ensemble, which not the greatest look in their arsenal, but in terms of color clash, does lend itself to something that is a bit easier on the eye. So I want your takeaway on the uniform matchup. And do these uniforms look too busy with a debut of the America 250 patch?
Well, I like that you're providing a little ray of sunshine there, Mike. That's nice of you to do because to be honest with you, this uniform matchup sucks. And part of the reason it sucks is because of the distance between what the reality will be and what is available. I know that they'll say, well, you're not supposed to wear your throwbacks and all that crap. But listen, it would be gorgeous. The Pat Patriot, don't you know? Pat Patriot, the white ones are nice with the red pantaloons and you know, him snapping the ball. You ever notice, by the way, that Pat Patriot, if you kind of blur your eyes, it looks like Bill Belichick? By the way, Bill Belichick, definitely not rooting for the Patriots in this game. And I also suspect Tom Brady isn't rooting for the Patriots. But the Seahawks, if they would wear the royal blue and the silver and the Kelly green, it would be beautiful. Instead, we get this nightmare of a matchup. It's just an atrocity for the eyes.
Dave, while there is precedent for a team opting for throwbacks in a Super Bowl, the Patriots and the Rams squared off, and the Rams opted for a throwback look. It's a pretty unprecedented move. So of the traditional looks available, I do
Would
think...
anybody balk if they did it? Who would complain if that's what they did? If they said, yeah, we decided we're going Pat Patriot. And by the way, I've talked with high-end Patriots, Chris Long and otherwise, from the Brady era with the Patriots. We resolved way back when, and now the ship has sailed. When Brady left, so too should the Flying Elvis uniforms. That should have been an era that stood on its own in New England lore, and then they should have reverted back to Pat Patriot, and we'd all be much happier.
Too many patches? Too many patches on these things?
Well, I mean, if I start shaking my fist and pounding the table about patches on uniforms, I'm just gonna make myself loco and hurt my hand.
Put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Is Belichick rooting for the Patriots in this Super Bowl? And also put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is Tom Brady rooting for the Patriots in this Super Bowl? I made a mistake there.
I have a quick story for you, Dan. I once was at a Super Bowl in Houston, Texas, and I had an interview booked. Yeah, you got to sit there and listen. This is a good story. I had an interview with the quarterback of the Houston Texans early one morning. And he showed up and oh, hello, Deshaun Watson. I'm Dave. It's nice to meet you. And we had a pleasant conversation that ran about 15, 20 minutes. And somewhere along the way, I asked him because Trevor Lawrence had just won another national title for the Clemson Tigers. And I said, this is great stuff. What an era. You win a title, Trevor. You don't want Trevor Lawrence to win another one, though, do you? And he said, why wouldn't I want that? And I said, well, because then that would obviously make two for him and make him the greatest Clemson quarterback of all time. And we chuckled and we moved on to whatever other subject. And about an hour later, I received a phone call that Deshaun did not like that question.
I never thought I would miss Jeremy.
The worst part about that, okay, is that...
Petty child.
The worst part about that is... we're getting his Football America recycled shit. It's not even fresh. It's not even that he just thinks it's a good story.
He just microwaved a turd, Dan?
Yeah, he microwaved a turd from Football America.
Got to air fry that.
Here you go, Dano.
And I wanted to interrupt the story with Jessica snoring, but I got inner monologue over there waving me off.
That's a good story.
Yeah, but I heard it already because you're giving us your recycled goop.
You caught me. All right, I have no
No,
pushback
not only
on
did
that.
not
I did.
only did I catch you, the worst part of it is, do you realize that I can give the audience nothing better than I made a mistake there? And that's what you interrupted. I started with, let me correct a mistake I made. It's the best thing I can give the audience. And you're like, nope, let me give them some recycled shit, a big turd burger.
Listen, mistakes were made, but let's not live life in the rearview mirror, Dan.
The mistake I made is saying that Drake May is a better runner at quarterback than Josh Allen. You cannot put him ahead of Josh Allen.
Right.
But we have, coming up later in the show, this is rare around here, we don't do it very much, a starting NFL quarterback.
Ooh.
And I told you it was damn good, too. I told you that.
That doesn't mean anything.
You say everyone.
Okay.
Coming from you, it means nothing that
It's called
you
vision,
think
Dan.
that they're a
It's
good
called vision.
quarterback. It's not, no. Who is the starting NFL quarterback that would excite you the least, Dave?
Starting NFL quarterback.
I don't want to play this game.
Can it be somebody who did start a game this year?
Sure.
We've
Pad
got
tits, Mac Jones.
Be a good get, honestly.
McCorkle's great. He's a fun get. He grittied with Chris at the Super Bowl once.
We have an NFL starting quarterback joining us later in the show, but I believe it's the one that most would say,
what are you doing there?
You just don't finish that sentence. Everyone knows where you're going.
I think it's a good one.
It's a
Keep
great
cooking.
one.
What's the worst that could happen?
I'd most like to hear, two is the guy who's too honest, so it would be fun to hear from him about this Super Bowl matchup. I think the most interesting guy to hear on the microphone these days who plays quarterback is Bake, Mike Ryan's guy. One-time MVP candidate up until about week 11, according to Mike Ryan.
Football America, Mondays and Fridays. Check out the material before he recycles it, heats it up, and serves it as a turd on our show. See you later,
I'm
Damashek.
sorry that happened.
No,
I got caught.
No, get out of
I
here.
am sorry. Let's
Get out
go
of here.
Pens. How about them
just
Penguins,
get out
Roy?
of here. Enough of you. I've had enough of you.
Roy.
Roy, what are you're talking to Roy?
It's not
Roy's
even
not
here.
He's hearing me. Wherever he is, he's hearing me, and he knows the truth. Look out for 87, everybody. Florida Panthers, indeed.
Chris, I'd like to ask you a question, just curiosity, as someone who cares about how this show sounds. Dave Damashek and his general peaking at the beginning of this, screaming at us in a way that distorts all our microphones. How did you feel?
That's on me. I need to be better there with the levels.
Okay, that's on you. All right.
I need to know when he shows up, put it to half.
Okay. Mike Ryan, where were you last night? What were you doing last night, and how fun or not fun was it?
It was plenty fun. I was at a championship celebration. Miami has won 4 pro sports championships in the last 12 months. We are Titletown, USA. Can you count them, Dan? You have Inter Miami. You have the back-to-back Florida Panthers. You obviously have the Cyclones in Battle Court. And you have Miami 305, the Big Three champions. Mario Chalmers hit the game-winning shot in an iconic final.
Ice cold.
All right? 4 championships in 12 months. We're not often associated with the title of Titletown, but we went to Coconut Grove, right next to your old stomping grounds where you got arrested that one time by Barracuda, and we celebrated with the Big Three champions, Miami 305. And if you're not familiar with the roster, great South Florida sports luminaries and Lance Stevenson. Howdy, everyone. It's Mike Ryan, Tony Kaladiud, Sean McGill. Approximately 75% of all tall Cubans are here in Coconut Grove. We are here to celebrate Miami 305, Big Three champs, Miami's Titletown.
Make some noise for your 2025 Big Three champions of your Miami 305!
Let's go talk to some champs. I'm here with Reggie Evans. Reggie, how's it feel, man? Championship, bring it to Miami.
Nah, this feel real good.
How do you feel the transition was from NBA to Big Three?
It wasn't too bad, you know what I'm saying? Because we done played the game for so long, so we know how to adapt to anything.
Yo, my man, a champion mascot. Here you go. The only flamingo to never skip leg day right there. What's the name? Fling. What's Miami without a fling? You got the best nickname in NBA history, Born Ready. Where'd it come from, and how do you feel about it?
All right, my name came from Rucker Park. Bobito gave me Born Ready, and I stuck with it since now. Hey, look, we still got it, baby.
You played Miami so much in the playoffs in the NBA. Now coming down and bringing a championship down to Miami, how does it feel?
Oh, man, it feels great. I mean, we was a rival team, but, I had to get down with the Miami squad, and we got the ring, so.
All right, we're here with the greatest number 6 in Miami Heat franchise history. The man. He's not only won an NBA title. He's not only won an NCAA title. He's not only won a Big 3 title. He's won a FIBA Champions League title. He is a 4-time champion all across the globe. That gets you in the Hall of Fame, Mario Chalmers. Do you agree with that? And do you agree that you are the greatest number 6 in the history of the Miami Heat?
I agree with the Hall of Fame. I definitely think I should get a nod, but the 6, you got to get at the bronze. Come on now.
All right, we'll settle for the greatest number 15 in Miami Heat history. All right, so obviously we're recognizing champions here. Mike just got recognized GM of the Year. Look what they brought him, a nice ice-cold margarita, complimentary. They said, you're a champion, right? And he said, yes, of course.
They asked me if I wanted a margarita, and I said, I'm working.
Bring it over. Here with legendary Miami Hurricane Jack McClinton, founding member of Miami 305, built this incredible world champion Big 3 roster. We have something in common outside of our passion for the Miami Hurricanes. I'm a bit of a GM myself. I built the Battle Cord champions. You built the Big 3 champions. How do you identify a championship Big 3 side, Jack?
I'm a part of the process, but there's a lot of moving parts. It's great ownership, great partners. And we got great players. We want guys that are dogs. We don't care about nothing else. We want good energy. We want dogs. Guys are going to fight for the prize.
Jack, how great was it beating the out of the Ohio State Buckeyes in that Cotton Bowl?
Ohio State, Miami,
Game on the line. 5 seconds left. You're bringing the ball up court. Mario Chalmers is bringing the ball up court. Who is more likely to hit a dagger, you or Rio?
Mario Chalmers. Did you see the Big 3? Did you watch it? Yeah,
I've seen it. Mario, I've been telling the boys over at the show, Michael Beasley, one of the coldest bucket getters of all time, okay, no matter what. Can you give me a top 5 bucket getters in the NBA?
All time?
All time. I put Rio on the spot, too.
You got to put Bees in there. You got to put KD, Kobe.
Okay.
You got to go with Michael Jordan first, Kobe, Kevin Durant.
One of my personal favorites is always going to be D-Wade.
Okay.
And then MJ.
Steph Curry.
Okay.
LeBron, man.
Okay. We got some legends. We got some GOATs in the bucket getter conversation, Mike. 305, baby. Brought it to the house. Let's go.
Think about Lance, and I always say every game, he was trying to fight, not fight like fight, but like his energy was ready. We trying to win.
Right.
I don't care who we playing. It was the first seed, last seed. Lance traded like the championship. Every game, it was a championship for Lance, and we won the championship. He treated every game like that. And he treated me like a brother. That's love.
Team 305, man. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Why does no one who has played in the NBA understand the bucket getter
They don't
game?
get it, Dan.
How
yeah.
is it that no one understands? You can't put Beasley with Michael Jordan.
Yeah, we were very.
You gotta have Beasley.
We were very kind to Lance Stevenson in the edit. On number 2, he just stared blankly for 35 seconds.
Well, he was big. I mean, he was obviously.
It was a title celebration.
It was a bit of a cross situation. We had a couple things in there.
I asked Mike Ryan today, did you blow in Lance's face? Because
We were close. I was angling for it.
He wouldn't have noticed.
Here's the thing. No, he wouldn't. Very disrespectful move to be a surprise. I didn't feel like I was like a cranky anchor, right? I don't want to surprise him with blowing him in his ear. He would have kicked my ass. These basketball players, tall, big. Mario Chalmers is my size.
Yo, Mario Chalmers, I mean, you laid out the resume there. Dude's one of the all-time winners.
I actually shorted him because
Does
he's a
nothing but
multiple-time NBA champion, and he also won a Greek league. And for 2 of those titles, he hit the shot that won the title.
He's won at every level.
If it's the Basketball Hall of Fame, legendary Kansas Jayhawk has his jersey retired.
He was serious when he said that.
Dude, why not? He has a good argument. When you look at what he's done globally, find me a bigger global winner than Mario Chalmers. I'm not. I know this sounds funny, but
you think so?
I know so, but I can make a logical, sound argument that he deserves to be in the Basketball Hall of Fame when you look at his career on the whole, because I can't name a bigger global winner.
One of the things that was funny about that conversation with Mario Chalmers is that it's as humble as I've ever heard him, merely saying that, yes, I should be in the Hall of Fame, because he finally conceded, well, LeBron as the number 6 is probably the better player.
15, I'll take that.
I have not heard him say that, though. LeBron would make fun of Mario Chalmers all the time for thinking that he was as good as LeBron. Like, that's not a concession. Mario Chalmers, I haven't even actually, even though it's obvious, it's not a concession I've heard Mario Chalmers make before.
I had a private moment with Rio in which I also coined the nickname Rio 5. I pulled him aside. I was like, hey, your second go-around with the Heat. A lot of fanfare, but you never saw the court. I still hold resentment against Spo.
Yeah. I don't even remember that.
Mario Chalmers signed like a 10-day.
DMP.
And he never got in a game, and he never gave us Heat fans that one last Rio bucket.
I have no recollection of that.
Speaking of basketball players, when I talked to Reggie Evans, me and him shook hands, and his hand was like from the tip of my hand to like my elbow, and then I touched him in his back, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
I don't know how anybody ever got a rebound against
Dude,
Reggie
that guy
Evans.
is solid. That guy's like a grizzly bear.
So you guys are really surprised that a great rebounder in the NBA would be big and strong?
He's actually kind of like undersized for
He
how
was. He
good
wasn't
a
that much bigger
rebounder
than I was.
he was. I wasn't surprised that Reggie Evans was imposing. I wasn't surprised that Michael Beasley was big or Sean Williams. Lance Stevenson doing that stuff on the wings, being one of the more athletic guys, that was a little surprising to see like his size. But the one that really shocked me the most was I had no idea Mario Chalmers was my height.
He's like 6'3".
I mean, he's one of the little guys on the court.
Well, there are a number of ways and times that people get surprised over my lifetime over the size of people. Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. People are often surprised by how big those two people are. This one is funny. Shaq, it's always surprising to people, and I don't understand how that one is surprising to people, but it's always surprising to people how large Shaquille O'Neal is. Brandon Marshall came through here this week, a giant. I don't know how any cornerback ever covered anything that was happening there. Darren Waller came through here, and I want to actually play another clip from Darren Waller in this South Beach session with Darren Waller. For those of you who may not be interested in Darren Waller or even the Dolphins, this is a human being whose journey has been interesting, and he's wildly introspective about some of the things that he's had to do in order to keep himself mentally sane. And one of the things that he has had to do is going to be played in a clip here. I urge you, if you really want to know that there's a human being inside of some of those uniforms, Darren Waller in this South Beach session was interesting for a lot of different reasons, but one of the reasons is how he copes with addiction to things and an addictive personality.
I saw somebody on TikTok, they put in the term, I guess the term is called raw dogging now. I guess it used to always just mean like sex with no condom, but now it's like
no internet.
Now it's like having time in your day where they call it raw dogging life. So it's like time where it's like I set a 30-minute timer and put my phone down. I just sit there because like a lot of what my makeup is just like the next high, like the next thing, like something to get me out of sitting with things. And so it's like that 30-minute window of just like absolutely nothing.
Not even meditation. It's just still with yourself and be comfortable with yourself, even if it's uncomfortable. Do not get distracted.
Right. Meditation is outside of that.
What are you smiling about, Zaslow?
I mean, if I just sat down for 30 minutes doing that, I'd fall asleep. I mean, how did you stay awake? Just pass out.
I'd probably jerk off.
Forgot to do the inner monologue button there.
I said what I said.
That would be great.
And I stand by
if he
it.
attached that to me as the inner monologue.
I didn't want to do that to you, pal.
No, thank you for your grace in moments of
I'll
trouble.
jump on that grenade.
Yeah.
I'll say whatever. That was everybody's 30-minute monologue. What? Yeah.
Without internet?
Yeah, no internet. Well,
that's what I'm saying, dude.
That's
good luck.
raw dogging it.
Good luck.
You got to go back into the bank.
Oof.
Let's go out again to Jeremy to see if there are any updates on the Giannis Antetokounmpo situation.
No, I've just been trying to figure out 3-team trades that if the Heat don't get Giannis, if the Lakers are in on it, maybe LeBron James comes back. But when you're talking about these two trades here, I mentioned before that Tyler Hero and Andrew Wiggins, if those were the guys that Milwaukee wanted because they wanted to have pieces for next year where they could compete, that helps their young core, and they're both movable contracts individually. The Jimmy Butler money is what everybody's talking about. Jimmy Butler coming off an ACL injury for a potential 2-month run with another team as $54 million. That's one movable piece is probably going to be tougher to put out in the market than Tyler Hero and Andrew Wiggins because Jimmy Butler didn't have a market before the injury. Now, as an expiring contract, he may for a championship team, but those are two pieces of this conversation. And the thing we really have to look at as well, everyone keeps coming back to the Heat having just 2 picks available to them, but the Heat have several different expiring contracts. They have different movable young pieces. So if they have conversations with Milwaukee about, all right, what's the package that you're looking for? It needs to include 4 picks and 3 pick swaps like the Warriors. Okay, which young guys do you want to have as a piece of this going with it? What money do you want? Do you want the expiring contracts of, say, Terry Rozier and Simone Fontecchio? Or do you want the guys you can have for next year in Tyler Hero and Andrew Wiggins? Whatever it is that you want, the Heat can take that and look at the rest of their roster and try to maneuver for a pick in 2027. Why does that matter? If you get that pick in 2027 and you can convince Charlotte to convey their pick, all of your picks open up and you have far and away the best package in the NBA for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I wonder what Mike does with the other 29 minutes.
An NFL starting quarterback will join us in 20 minutes. A number of different questions I want to ask you guys. Speaking of NFL quarterbacks, I don't know if you guys have seen the Pizza Hut commercial with Tom Brady. Tom Brady doesn't really need to be making commercials with the amount of money that he's making.
So why does he?
I don't know the answer to that question, but the question that I wanted to ask you about that commercial is, do you guys think that Tom Brady eats pizza? Because I assume he doesn't. He's anti-carbs. I assume he doesn't eat that pizza. Do you want, as a spokesman, someone who would famously not eat that product as your spokesman?
But it doesn't mean that he doesn't order it like for his kids, for his family one night.
Aren't they the official pizza of the NFL?
I love Pizza Hut, by the way.
It's a great spot. Pizza Hut! I love that.
It's my favorite of the chains.
He doesn't even eat tomatoes. So how would he eat pizza?
Yeah.
He literally doesn't eat tomatoes.
If you spend that much money...
You know about that white cheese pizza?
I do.
If you spend that much money to be the official pizza of the NFL, number one, you probably want me being pretty damn sure that you're the official pizza of the NFL. But number two, a good way to go about that is bring along the frozen face of Tom Brady, who's so associated with that sport.
Yeah, but doesn't eat cheese or dairy or carbs.
Ah, come on.
Well, maybe he does now. He doesn't play anymore.
What percentage of people know that?
LeBron doesn't drive a Kia. Like, you'll pull up to the arena and
LeBron's not
and
drinking
do that,
Sprite all the time?
That Kia thing, but that's what a pitchman is.
Okay, so you don't care, then, is the answer to my question.
No, is the spot good?
Big name.
I do remember. Look, one thing that I do know is Tom Brady is doing a Pizza Hut spot. And for me to actually retain who he's doing that commercial for, that's impressive, because during commercial breaks, I am in that phone.
I think I saw Drew Barrymore and Orlando Bloom doing a cruise commercial, and I'm like, they don't.
I've seen that one.
They don't
MSC?
go on cruises. They don't go on cruises. I think so.
Is that MSC?
I believe it's MSC.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point that you got there, Chris, with when Mike gives you the from back there. That's got to feel
It's a good
pretty
spot
good
if I
about
remember.
you going to your weekend. Can we get, please, the sound here of people in Seattle are obviously very excited. Seattle doesn't win stuff that often. It's not, it's not a city, even though it cares about its sports deeply, that gets to win all of that much. And so during the live broadcast,
News broadcast local in Seattle.
Yeah, a news broadcast locally, you've just got basically debauchery and things that can't happen anymore on local news. It can happen anywhere else in streaming, anywhere else on the internet. This is not shocking anyway.
Cursing.
We just had Al Michaels on yesterday, and he's like, yeah, it used to be a big deal if I said shit on the air, but now Al Michaels is just letting it fly because all of the standards here have gone to hell, except on local television, where you can't do this.
So tell me, you were inside there.
Be the f***ing Patriots. Redo.
Try to say that again without the F-bomb.
Redo this shit. We're about to
well, too bad. Sorry. Could you translate for tell me? I mean, what was that like?
It's our revenge against the Patriots. We're going to take the Super Bowl this year.
Got so boring without the curse words.
Well, it got drunker. It somehow got drunker after the curse words. Let's go. First of all, I should have told people there's a woman on a man's shoulders here, and the interviewer first goes to the woman on the man's shoulder, and it looks like Rachel Nichols trying to interview Wembanyama because she is high up there and she's cursing. But then he goes to the boring guy.
First he goes to reset. He goes, hey, you cursed. Do that again without cursing. And she curses more.
And then he just goes straight to the drunkenness.
So tell me, you were inside there.
Be the f***ing Patriots. Redo.
Try to say that again without the F-bomb.
Redo this shit. We're about to
too bad. Sorry. Could you translate for tell me? I mean, what was that like?
It's our revenge against the Patriots. We're going to take the Super Bowl this year.
Drunker and more boring.
Lance?
More baked than Stevenson is what I was just about to say. Tony, why is it that Mike Ryan did all of the interviews with the Big Three champions other than Reggie Evans?
Yeah, I don't know. We obviously, it was very loud. They were having a celebration out there. They were getting the rings. They were getting the trophies. So we were getting people left and right. And all of a sudden, I get Reggie, and we're like, all right, we're going to do a little thing with Reggie. And then I look back, and then Mike's behind a sea of people on the other side by the restaurant. And I'm just like, Mike, you can do this? He's like, no, you got to point at me like, you got it. So I turn up to Reggie. Reggie, what do you think about the NBA and just transition to the Big Three, huh?
I like to build up my teammates.
Why couldn't you get Beasley?
I hogged up all the time with Jack McClinton. I was got to get my boy some reps.
Why didn't we get Bees? Good question.
Okay, I'm glad we've got a
Tough
good
get.
question.
We did
but
talk
not-
amongst ourselves like that would be a good get.
See, he was the get to he was the number one though.
No,
I think Rio.
No,
Rio was
no,
number
Rio was very clearly head and shoulders the number one get.
Right. That's why we got him.
You may have heard earlier in the show we were lamenting the possible end to the Panthers season about a week after Zaslow admitted for the first time that he was officially worried about the Panthers. Now, the Colorado Avalanche have been good for a very long time, and they are one of the teams I imagine that you guys are scared of, right? You guys are you're
They
scared.
can't win the last couple weeks, but yes, they are very scary.
I mean, I'm not scared of the Avalanche because if the Panthers played the Avalanche, it'd be in the Stanley Cup final. And if the Panthers are in the Stanley Cup final, they're definitely winning.
Needed
So,
them to
no,
win
I'm
last
not
night
scared.
against Montreal, and they couldn't.
Yeah, respectfully, I can't even look at the Western Conference right now. I'm looking up at a bunch of teams in the Eastern Conference. I'm sweating Buffalo.
So I'd like to get to some sound here, though, of the Avalanche radio announcers that I want to play for the audience here. If you have not heard this, let's play that sound.
You hear that? That's a bunch of people who have chosen to leave a city on purpose for a lot of reasons. But they continue their fandom. Denver, Colorado. This isn't Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You left for a reason. Leave your allegiance there, too. 1:55 to go in the third period. Want to be a Flyers fan? Stay in Philadelphia.
That is such loser shit. So the Avalanche, the game's in Denver, and the Avalanche are down 7-3 at the time. So the crowd there's a big "Let's Go Flyers" chant going on, and the play-by-play guy he can't handle it.
10 years ago, Tom Brady called soda poison for kids.
He's not wrong.
I don't think he's giving his kids pizza, though. I don't think that that's what's happening. Incidentally, I should say, can you guys get for me the Mystery Crate video and sound? Zaslow, while he has a soda drinker's body, he has never tried soda before. And on Mystery Crate,
Oh, you got to tune in this week.
they had him try an assortment of things that he has not tried before. I don't want to ruin what's going on here on Mystery Crate, but can you tell me what this clip is, Chris, that we're going to? Which is the soda that he's trying in this clip? Do we know?
It's kind of like in this clip, we're having him guess because he's never had Dr. Pepper or root beer. Like most people would know those flavors, so we put two
I have
cups
no
in front
idea.
of him and we let him figure it out. So let's play it.
All right, and this is actually the big one because root beer, Dr. Pepper, people are like stunned when I tell them I've
Yes.
never had either one. All right, here we go.
Fine.
Here we go.
Down the hatch. So this is either Dr. Pepper or root beer.
So what is the distinctive flavor that you can
he hates it right now. He doesn't like it.
I bet I know what it is.
I guarantee
with
you,
that
I just want to guess which one it is.
Tastes
yeah.
like toothpaste.
Oh,
I know which one it is.
Yeah, that's. I mean, let's just have him guess.
All right,
Oh.
so 0.
It actually is toothpaste. It's all a gag.
No,
Oh,
no.
I give that a 0.
All right.
That's
What-
so
what-
bad.
I bet I know which one it is.
What is that?
Let's let him guess first. What
Hold
if you
on.
had to guess?
I don't know.
You
I have
a
no
distinctive
idea.
flavor that you can tell out of that.
Yeah, toothpaste.
I know what he's thinking.
I just drank Crest.
That had to be root beer.
Had to be. Had to be.
It
root
was
beer.
root beer.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
gross.
Had to be root
Do
beer.
you
I love root
taste
beer.
any
licorice?
No, it tastes like toothpaste. It's horrible.
It's quite the ensemble you got there. You look like you're in like a 1990s hot dog commercial that can't afford licensing.
I would. Don't ever put root beer in front of me ever again. It's
That guy,
disgusting.
undercover cop.
Yeah.
He's a cop. That guy's trying to like sell you tickets outside of a sporting event.
Why
hey,
is
you guys
everything
wanna
I
see the
wear
game?
undercover cop? Why is that the go-to?
I'm selling two.
Undercover. I'm not an undercover cop. Stop saying that.
That's what a cop would say.
Two things about me everybody
You
knows.
know-
I'm not an undercover cop, and I'll never be a cuckold.
You know, if you're a cop, you have to tell me.
It's entrapment.
I'm not a cop.
You're not a cuck?
That too.
You're not an undercover cop, and you're not an undercover cuck.
I would never be an undercover cuckold.
But you are a wrestling fan.
Oh my God!
And you look like one in that video, too.
I'm very excited for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's great. Tomorrow's great.
I got to tell you, a solid argument for judging a book by the cover. You look like a wrestling fan.
Okay, I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
I don't care. I used to hide it as a kid. I don't hide it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm very comfortable with myself. Yeah, I was very embarrassed as a
Yeah.
kid. It was like a shame, you know?
I'm also one of those self-hating wrestling fans because they mostly look like Zaz, and I try to think that I'm better than them when I'm a bigger nerd.
You're not any better than
I'm
me.
not any better. It's Royal Rumble.
Matter of fact,
weekend.
you're worse than me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not solid argument. I'll wear it. The second best pay-per-view in all of pro wrestling
Very
is
exciting tomorrow.
the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
As you know, Dan, as the lore goes, the winner of the Royal Rumble, both men's and now women's, because we're allies, they go on to main event WrestleMania.
You guys are moving too quickly away from the genuine horror that was on Zaz's face and on his breath when he had this particular root beer. That is genuine, and he's horrified, and I didn't think that anybody would ever have that reaction to drinking soda of any kind. Like soda, whether you like soda or not, very few people, I think, are just totally disgusted by soda.
Dan, this was not performative whatsoever. I'm never performative, okay? It's the real thing right here.
I'm never performative.
That's the worst thing I've ever drank.
This is my real voice, not a performative voice.
I want to show you guys a little bit of video here. I don't know how surprised you were or weren't about Chris Fowler.
Good job getting that wrestling shit out of here. I thought Mike was setting it up well, but we showed him who's boss. Just trampled his ass.
Chris Fowler is in the weight room.
One of my favorite
it's
Instagram
so
followers.
hard for me not to answer that voice. Like, I can't tell you how much difficulty I'm having not arguing.
Yeah, there was
with-
a little lull in the action, and Mike just slid in to make sure there was no awkward silence, and he did the wrestling thing, but I decided, fuck you!
This inner monologue is unbelievably accurate. Like, I don't know what to do with the fact that the monologue is what's actually happening in my head, and I want to sort of have chemistry with my inner monologue, but you keep instructing me not to talk to my inner monologue.
We should go back to the wrestling talk.
Go to hell!
Oh, now you're trying to be Phil Henry?
It's Hendry, no one's gonna notice.
I said Hendry!
You said Henry.
Play it back. Someone clip it.
Chris Fowler is in the gym, and for those of you who do not know, Chris Fowler is jacked and works out very hard. He is somebody. I was not expecting Chris Fowler to break out the guns and break out. He's going to be doing squats here, I would imagine. His mouth is open. He is working very hard in the weight room. How old is Chris Fowler? He's about my age, is he not?
I think he's 60.
So he's working out hard here, and I want to put up as well John Harbaugh. How much did John Harbaugh end up squatting the other day in a way that impressed you guys in the gym? Because John Harbaugh is also roughly about my age.
So Dan, in the first one, we saw Chris Fowler doing more of a deadlift, right, with a trap bar, than it was a squat. So we're gonna see John Harbaugh, who did 405 on the squat rack, with a little bit more of a helpful squat bar.
And you guys were all impressed by this, right?
Of course.
That John Harbaugh, how old is John Harbaugh here? Because this is 405 pounds. And yes, thank you for that correction. That shows you some of my gym ignorance. If the inner monologue was working correctly still, it would say, fuck, he doesn't know the difference between a deadlift and a squat. What a fucking idiot. He allowed everybody in the entire audience to make fun of the fact that he never goes to the gym.
I thought you didn't want a whiny voice.
John Harbaugh at 405. How impressed
He's
were
not
you?
405 years old, 405 pounds.
How impressed were you by him?
Maybe I should have done the wrestling thing.
John Harbaugh is 63 years old.
Wow.
So is Chris Fowler.
Wow. Synergy.
He's so slightly younger than 405. That would be really impressive.
At 405,
What? All right. do it.
Love a good spotter.
Put this on the poll, okay? More impressive, squatting 405 pounds at 65 or squatting 65 pounds at 405 years of age?
Good point.
Because I really did have John Harbaugh being a lot older than he was when I made him 405 years old.
I have one more feat of strength for you. It's Deion Sanders. 58 years old, banging out 245, 8 reps on the bench press. Told one of the kids, hey, get out of the way. Watch how daddy does it.
That's a lot for
a
Deion
lot.
Sanders. I do not think of upper body strength. When I think of Deion, I think of him as being upper body sort of small and weak.
What's
upper
most
body.
impressive here?
That's down to the chest, baby.
That's old man strength.
Tony, what are you most impressed with? of these three?
245 pounds, free bar is heavy as hell.
So you're
and if you're 58 years old, it's really tough, especially when you don't really have a lot of great balance.
I'm going Harbaugh. That was my most impressive of those three.
Let me see that again, though, because even though I am clearly showing off some of my gym ignorance in making a deadlift a squat. Wait. So, okay. So I thought I thought that was just 225, but he's got more than 245.
He's got two caddies on each
plates.
side
Yeah.
plus a 25.
Do you guys know why the 45-pound is called the Cadillac? I do not know that, the answer to that. Do you guys
It's the
know
biggest
why?
and best, baby.
Is that why? It's a good reason. I have here in front of me, Darian Mensah has done an interview with on3.com, and he says the reason for going to Miami, leaving Duke for Miami is, quote, I want to make the NFL. I want to be a first-round draft pick, and all signs point towards Miami. He says Miami's going to take me to the place I want to go, which is ultimately the NFL. They've got NFL coaches. Coach Shannon Dawson, what he does with quarterbacks, his track records is pretty amazing, and it's something I wanted to be a part of. And Barry Jackson writes, UM has found the formula. Keep signing a very good quarterback in the portal every year. Keep showing them what this coaching staff and OL and weapons can do for them to help their development for the NFL, how they can play for an elite team and showcase their skills. Success begets success and will fuel this formula. Forget grooming quarterbacks and recruiting. This is the formula to remain championship contender every year. There is some risk you'll miss out on a quarterback one year, but this is the formula. It would make sense, right, to go when you go Cam Ward, Carson Beck, Darian Mensah, it seems pretty easy, right, that if college football is going to become professional football would love to just be able to go and grab quarterbacks that are already developed instead of having to develop them. But in the pros, you have salary caps, and the greatest advantage you can have is a quarterback at value. You don't have to worry about that in college. Just go get the most expensive quarterback and make sure you've got a quarterback.
It is a very high-stakes game, and I don't know how sustainable it is. Tim's right to outline, like, you run the risk of in an all-in move not cashing in, and all three quarterback pursuits, Cam Ward, Carson Beck, and Darian Mensah, if they didn't land on those quarterbacks, they would have had to go with Emory Williams, someone that was on the roster. And as it's played out, Cam Ward going number 1 overall, Carson Beck going to a national championship. Like, those bets cashed, but it was risky, and I don't understand why Miami keeps signing up for this specific process.
We are joined now by somebody who was a very good college quarterback, played for a lot of years, 7 years. Tyler Shuck was with the Saints this year, had a great rookie season for the Saints, actually turned their season around as soon as he started playing, was a bit of a surprise. He went 5-4 as a starting quarterback. It is good to see his face here. It's been hidden behind a helmet. So, Tyler, forgive my ignorance here. You went to, you were in college about 6 or 7 years, correct?
That's correct, yeah. Not by choice, but through COVID and the medical, I was able to outlast it. And, had a blast, learned a bunch. Was at Oregon, Texas Tech, and finished up at Louisville.
And so when you went through that process and you imagined whatever it is that your life would look like in the pros, how close did it come to resembling what actually ended up happening?
Far from it. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of times where the reality kind of sets in when you're in a cast, you're in a sling where, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get my opportunity to go to the NFL. And just everybody around me just kind of having that mentality to keep going, and got that opportunity and wanted to make sure I took advantage of it. And it's kind of a whirlwind right now, looking back. And but now I know there's so much more to go.
Given how difficult the position is, given how fast everything moves, can you now be honest about whatever was happening in your first game if you had a piss your pants moment where you're like, this is all too much. All of this is too much.
No, I mean, I remember the first time I came in was against the Bucs defense and Todd Bowles, and my first start was against the Rams, who were obviously deep in the playoffs. So it was definitely it's not a warm-up game. You're not playing against a FCS team in college. And I loved it. You got Vita Vea coming after you. You got I think the biggest one was Byron Young came free on the edge and he hit me right in the jaw, and I had to get some needles in it. So it hurt pretty good, but I got acclimated pretty quick.
I don't believe you when you say it's a lot of fun, Vita Vea coming through the middle there untouched. I think you're lying to me.
Fight or flight.
But then I believe that you're lying to us when you say it's a lot of fun to see him coming through the middle unblocked. Nobody wants to see that coming up the middle.
No, you just run. You just run for your life.
Okay, Tyler, I've been thinking about this recently, and you bringing it up is a great case. So you said you went to school, you went to Oregon, you went to Texas Tech, you went to Louisville. If your team, if the Saints are good enough to play on Sunday Night Football and they do the player intros and the player comes up on the screen with the graphic, Tyler Shock, and then you got to say what school you went to. Which school do you say? You've been to so many schools.
Yeah, I think you just got to go the Terrell Suggs Ball So Hard University. I don't know. I think I got to really think about it. I'll probably go Louisville because that's obviously the most recent, and they helped me get to this point. But I have ties, I have connections, and a lot of love for all three. But
I don't think you're saying that right. They correct me around here
Dan,
all the time.
You say it wrong.
You say it wrong.
No. How do you say Louisville?
Louisville.
There you go.
So simple, Dan.
Shit.
You got peanut butter on the roof of your mouth, man. You can't. It's not Louisville. It's a Louisville.
Thank you. Louisville.
What bothers you more, when people mispronounce that or your last name? Because I'm sure you ran into plenty of coaches in your day that have butchered that last name. What's the worst pronunciation of Shuck you've heard?
Shao, Shug, Shu, Shuff, Show. I mean, it should be all those things, but Shuck. It kind of fits in New Orleans because there's so many weird words here that you just have to memorize it, and it fits. And you're kind of shucking oysters. You got the F word that correlates with it, so it works out.
Are you allowed as a starting quarterback in the NFL to just simply answer this question? And you can tell me whether you're allowed without answering it. You don't have to. Just, are you allowed to answer who's better, Sam Darnold or Drake May?
I don't know if I'm allowed to answer it, but I think both those guys are playing really well. I'm obviously a huge fan. I grew up watching, Sam Darnold when I was in college, wanted to be like him, and obviously Drake. Getting to know him. We have similar quarterback trainers, the same guys, and watching their film, it's hard not to be a fan.
Let me do this another way with you, because you're already expert, even though you're a rookie, at not answering questions as a quarterback. Because
yeah, it's a real brain buster. Rank the quarterbacks as a starting quarterback. I'm sure
who's better?
I'm sure
just
he had
who's
to be
better?
quick on his feet there.
Just who's better, Drake May or Sam Darnold? My guess is if someone asks him that privately, he's allowed to answer that question. He's just not.
This isn't in
allowed
private,
to,
though, Dan.
He's not allowed to answer it publicly.
There's a couple guys no one's watching.
So can you tell me, Tyler, what are your go-to cliches in front of your locker when the reporter asks the question you don't want to answer? Because you've got a game plan here. You've got a playbook for how not to answer questions. So just take me through that.
Well, there's two trains of thought. You can go the Seahawks, Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I don't get fined, which is ill-advised for my position. So I usually you kind of resort to the miscommunication. I mean, it was just a miscommunication. It was we're gonna have to go back to the drawing board.
Oh, drawing board's a good one.
Love a drawing
Go
board.
back
That's a
to the
good
drawing board. We'll refocus. I don't know. You gotta go in there and you gotta play it cool.
So help me though. What kinds of questions do you have in the data bank for miscommunication? Take me through the playbook of how to answer questions correctly in front of your locker that you don't actually want to answer. What are the kinds of questions that are going to result in you going straight to the cliche playbook?
I mean, anytime a reporter is trying to pass blame or really kind of make somebody else feel like it was their fault, or they're going to talk crap on somebody else when that's not the case. So, or even if it was my fault, say I threw a really bad interception, you got to take the blame. So I think that's the biggest thing, was a reporter trying to get maybe a dicey answer.
Maybe when they ask you to rank two quarterbacks.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just you gotta be smart there. You're kind of trying to get a headline.
We're all Team Tyler there. Your head coach, somebody I have a ton of respect for, Jeff Brom, had one of the iconic XFL quotes of all time. I'm sure that was circulated in group chats there. When anybody was hurt in that Louisville locker room, were people asking, do I or do I not have a pulse?
That was probably the sole reason I committed to Louisville out of the portal. I saw that video and I was like, let's let's go. Like this guy gets after it. But that's not fake either. Like that's how he is on the headset. Like him cussing you out, over the headset whenever you got to play, or him just having that attitude. It's real. But yeah, no, it's a whole thing there, and I love it.
Put us next to you in front of the television when Louisville is playing Miami last year.
Louisville.
I was fired up just because, we couldn't get it done against them last year. It was a really, really fun game against Cam Ward and their team. But I think the way they kind of battled in Miami, and obviously they went to the national championship, it was pretty cool.
Let's put a picture up here for Tyler Shuck and have him tell us what's happening in this photo. Can you explain to me everything that's happening here where you are apparently dressed as team owner Gail Benson? And my God, what a package.
Yeah, no, thank you. I really appreciate that. That is the rookie Halloween contest where you have to obviously dress up and do a whole thing for it. And I got the blessing from the staff and Miss Benson. She, obviously really, really close with them, and it was a hit for sure. I lost to Major Payne. Our running back Devin Neal did Major Payne, and he had the gold tooth in. He killed it, but man, it was fun. I think you got to not take yourself too seriously.
What's happening over there on the right, though, of that photograph? Just not with you, but over there on the right.
That's Vector.
But lower. What's happening on the right?
Lower.
I don't know, man. I think he's got a hotel pillow stuffed in his pants to try and do he's got like a gut, the Vector. And then we got like a dictator in the right hand. We had a great group, man. Great rookie class. And I think that was the best part. The whole team loved it.
You had to be nervous to ask the owner for that, though.
Yeah, I was crapping my pants. But I think that was the best part. It was bold, and everybody kind of loved it. And like you said, you can't take yourself too seriously. You got to have some fun with it.
Most of the people talking about and critiquing whatever is your performance don't understand the difficulty of all the information that you have to process in 25 seconds. So if you were trying to explain to somebody listening to this, all right, let me explain to you this play call, how long it is, what it sounds like, what's just come to me through the helmet very quickly. What is the most complicated thing that you could say right now as just a play call, and explain what that play call is? The most complicated sounding play call you guys have that has to get in there in 25 seconds.
Oof. Yeah, I mean, you can go any way with that. But I can give you a different version of our offense. I don't want to give our plays out too much, but it'd be
come on, give us one of your plays.
Mo to flop left stack, F buzz, pop raptors toss, double post wheel, can to duo spot, and then you got multiple reads within that. You got a pass run option. You got your 1 high 2 high, then you can let it ride. Then you got a protection element. Say you get a pulling guard on that one. If you get pressure, you're gonna kill the protection to get you into 6-man pro to still run the pass. But if you get kind of a shell look, you're gonna go to run. You got the play clock clicking down, and you got to snap the ball.
I think he likes us. He's not just on with us for that reason. Maybe working a promo.
All right, we'll do Shuck Yes or Shuck No with him about Super Bowl parties. Are you ready to play the game Shuck Yes or Shuck No with us as I offer you an assortment of Super Bowl options for a Super Bowl party?
Shuck Yes.
Okay. Pizza.
This guy gets it.
Good job.
Pizza, Shuck Yes or Shuck No?
Shuck Yes.
Super Bowl commercials, Shuck Yes or Shuck No?
Shuck Yes. You just got to make sure they're not, at 100 volume.
Watching the game with no sound, Shuck Yes or Shuck No?
Shuck No.
Hot dogs, Shuck Yes or Shuck No?
Shuck Yes.
Chicken wings, Shuck Yes or Shuck No?
Shuck Yes.
Cupcakes and cookies shaped like footballs, Shuck Yes or Shuck No?
Shuck No.
Halftime show, Shuck Yes or Shuck No?
Shuck Yes.
Super Bowl squares, buying squares, Shuck Yes or Shuck No?
Shuck NA. I don't know if I can even answer that, but if I was not playing,
this guy is good.
Just go Shuck No, I think.
Shuck NA.
Pointed out the mic there, Dan.
Yeah.
better
Get
quarterback.
shut, Dan. Come on, have some better questions.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Dan.
Better quarterback,
Dan.
Sam Darnold
He's on
or
my ass.
Drake May? Shuck yes or shuck no?
Shuck you, Dan.
Yeah, now let him promote his stuff. Promote it.
Let's go. What are you going to be doing this Super Bowl Sunday?
Man, there's a couple options. I might be in the hospital when my wife's giving birth to our first son, or I might be watching the game, or probably both, maybe. But unfortunately, we'll be down in San Francisco, but we'll be here in New Orleans.
Congratulations, sir. It was fun watching you, and it was fun talking to you. Appreciate the time and appreciate your interview style.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
I like that young man. That
I'm a Saints fan
team.
now.
That
Kicking off
Saints team
Super
is
Bowl
supposed to
fan.
grow.
Guys, I tried to tell you.
I like that Saints
Tony
team.
was right. I tried to tell you
like
guys.
that Saints team.
I
tell you guys that he
Look at
rocks.
us. That's how you kick off Super Bowl week. Right there.
Yeah.
Shuck you, Dan.
That was great.
That was incredible.
Impressive young man.
Put it on the poll. Is
Good looking, too.
the best way to kick off Super Bowl week by saying, shuck you, Dan, because I think I agree with that. Are you guys excited for what's coming next week? Because I kind of dread all things Radio Row, and it's storming toward us, but we will have a whole lot of guests, and you know that Dominic Foxworth said last week with us, he's like, I don't listen to you guys' show for the guests. I don't want guests. I want you guys doing show.
Fred Warner, Tuesday.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, that's a big get,
Shuck
Dan.
yeah.
Shuck and Fred Warner.
I think we should play Shuck Yeah or Shuck No with all of the
Everyone.
guests.
Yes,
Fred Warner.
exactly.
You know the QB for the Saints?
Just see how many questions it takes before they say, shuck you, Dan.
Yeah, that's great. I'm more excited for the Royal Rumble.
Yes, Dan, I thought that's the direction you were going in.
I think the biggest story in sports is Denny Hamlin.
Yeah!
Wait a minute.
I was just endorsing you.
No.
We're in this together, buddy.
No. Wait a minute. You were at the wrong microphone there.
cathedral of
No, you were
storytelling.
You were at the wrong microphone. That was not inner monologue. That was inner micologue.
His dad died in a fire. Come on.
This is the dirty demon of debate. This is not the inner monologue anymore.
Shit. Seem to have worked myself into a predicament. Quick, go to Zaz on his Royal Rumble.
No, I want to talk
No,
about
it's a
Denny
good idea.
Hamlin. No, I want to talk.
It's a good
No,
idea.
I'm dying to
I
talk
promise.
about Denny
I promise
Hamlin.
they worked
I
really
can't
hard
talk
on it.
enough about Denny Hamlin. Let's talk about Denny Hamlin.
Oh, okay. One door closes.
Denny Hamlin, if you're familiar with his story, heartbreaking loss. He's basically the Buffalo Bills. He's never won
Where's
a
the
championship.
gearhead?
Really? I'm going to touch on serious subject matter. Let's make sure that we have the video of him speaking
Juggle more
to,
things.
Bob Pockrass. Denny Hamlin had a heartbreaking championship loss. Devastating. They were in the pits. Kyle Larson takes a gamble on the tires. Denny Hamlin loses a race that he was completely controlling, and the championship, the Cup championship, eludes him once again. When all the stars appeared to be aligning for him, he wanted to win that title. He wanted his terminally ill father to watch him win that title. And months after that devastating defeat, Denny Hamlin's terminally ill father passed away in a tragic house fire that also injured his mother. I can't even imagine the devastation. Denny Hamlin, NASCAR season is starting this Sunday with the Clash at Bowman Gray and then Daytona on the horizon. He sat down with NASCAR's preeminent journalist, and these are the first words that I've seen Denny Hamlin speak. And visibly, if you know what he looks like a man that has gone through hell. He is absolutely wearing this tragedy, and he gives voice to it. Your heart breaks for Denny Hamlin here.
How are you doing?
Okay, as to be expected.
Should look like your mom is doing okay.
Yeah, she has good days, bad days, but getting better.
Did you consider not racing after everything that happened?
I mean, I've considered all options. I made a promise to Joe, to Gibbs family.
Do you think it's going to be difficult to race?
I don't think so. I think that, once I get in the swing of it, it'll actually be good, to get back to it. I haven't locked in for the season necessarily quite yet.
And is there anything you want to say to so many people have reached out and said things on social media? I'm curious if there is. Anything you want to tell people? Or
Well, I try to answer back some. It's impossible to answer back all, but yeah, it's just certainly the NASCAR family's always been a very tight group, and appreciate the condolences and the well wishes and everything from everyone. It certainly does mean a lot.
Have you had much time to kind of work with the team at all, or have they pretty much given you kind of time to be?
I mean, today will be my first day back at the shop since November, probably.
Best of me, I think, be old hat. I mean, it'd be pretty much like you're gonna be ready
I think
for.
So. I think so. I mean, those guys have been working and preparing and whatnot. I'll be obviously a little bit behind, but I feel like I can catch up pretty quickly.
Obviously, pretty heavy stuff there. And if you were watching us on the video supplement there, you can see a dude that looks broken. But I know NASCAR is not everybody's cup of tea. Dan, I know you're a big sports guy. You like what happens between the lines, but you also love the story behind sport. And I'm telling you, if Denny Hamlin finds a way to even win Daytona, that's incredible. He's done it before. But if he wins this cup, it is one of the greatest comeback stories in the history of sport. And everybody should be rooting for Denny Hamlin, who oftentimes embraces the villain role. He has really been buoyed by the NASCAR community here. It's a face turn. Like, he is what everybody's rooting for. I'm a Kyle Larson guy, and Kyle Larson won that Cup championship, and I was bummed for Denny Hamlin. And I am so rooting hard for the 11 car this year.
Well, sports are cool in a lot of different ways, and we were joking when we started today about Jeremy correctly saying, come on, you guys, you can't tell me that Denny Hamlin and Djokovic are a bigger story than Antetokounmpo, but if those stories were in the sports you cared about, you'd think they were. If we were taking these athletes and moving them into the things that you actually care about, you would have been moved by what happened with Djokovic this morning. And the Denny Hamlin story has been fascinating for for at least the last year.
Yeah, transparently, I had no idea what was going on with Denny Hamlin when I said that. I'm just more of a Pella Larson guy.
I understand that, but this is why we share these stories, because Brett Favre on Monday Night Football, Jordan embracing the trophy, those are storylines that people can connect to, and Denny's got a story that I think everybody can identify with.